Okay, so here's the lowdown. While it would be unfair to have any kind of definitive Street Fighter collection this early in the series' life, it is indeed a very liberal use of the word collection. The release contains 2 discs with 3 titles. The first disc contains the original Super Street Fighter 2 and its follow-up Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, with the second disc containing an enhanced version of Street Fighter Alpha 2. The collection was published and developed by Capcom and released on both the Sega Saturn and PlayStation in 1997. The Super Street Fighter 2 games are ported from their original CPS2 arcade versions. What the first disc shows us is a small progression between the 2 versions of Street Fighter. Owning this would also make the purchase of the standalone version of Street Fighter Alpha 2 completely redundant. But make no mistake, Capcom were at the height of their form and thus, their ports to the Sega Saturn were second to none. The presentation is uniformly great, with a pleasing arcade aesthetic, good colour choices, great design, and all-round pleasing. Trying to take issue with Street Fighter on the Sega Saturn graphically is very difficult. No glitching, frame rate is spot on, and detailing is top notch. This applies to all 3 games. It looks better than the gameplay you see before you. Sound is amazing, and that sweet spot of nostalgia really hits hard. Nothing really feels out of line here, with the minor exception of the heart attack and medium attack sound effect being around the other way to how I remember it in the arcade. Gameplay is exactly how you remember Street Fighter, and if you've never played the series right from the onset, this entire series is a classic of pitting 2 fighters in a location and fighting it out with special moves and combos never seen done as well as any other series. Controls are great with destructive arenas which had nothing like it at the time. Replayability is 3 different versions of Street Fighter. Okay, yeah, it does feel like a cash cow for Capcom, but there still is a lot of content. This collection fetches unreasonable amounts of money in both the US and PAL regions, but the Japanese copies fare far better. For now. Would I recommend this game? Of course, I'd be mad not to. 3 versions of what is a quintessential series in one package.